Peace and love, y'all. Tonight, Wonder right here, represent Jamaica Rex and the Universal Zulu Nation. This goes out to Nod Factor. Peace.
On Facebook, why are people mad at Macklemore?
I don't get it.
What are your thoughts just on people's reactions? What do you think about the who won, who lost, personally, and why, and about people's reactions?
I've learned to separate my personal taste from, as a journalist like yourself, I've learned how to separate my personal taste from objectivity, which is hard for people to do. People get married to something and people got their emotions in it. It's hard for them to see outside the box. You know what I mean? For me, although personally I feel that Good Kid, Mad City was the better album, right? If we're talking about that personally, I can objectively understand why Macklemore won the Grammy, right? And there's so many reasons behind that. You know what I mean? The voting process, who votes, but it just kind of perturbed me to the point of, these are the same people that don't buy their own cast music. Like, you're upset that Macklemore won, but when an album comes out of your favorite artist, you don't buy it. Like, you want to get a burn of it, you want to get a download, or let me check it out, or send me a zip file. You won't buy it yourself. So I make that the equivalent of like the NAACP getting mad when black people are wronged by a white person, right? That, we up in arms, like, you know what I mean? Like, we just up in arms. Ooh, the white man did this to the black man, blah, 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 blah. We fight the power and all of that. But when it's black on black crime, or when it's something that happens within our own neighborhoods, we don't put that much of an effort, because the show ain't there. You know what I mean? The show is not up for us to be up in arms about this. And it's the same thing, you know what I mean? You worried about this guy who, whether you like his music or not, you worried about this guy who made a hit song off of going to the thrift store. How can you get mad at that? Like, you know what I mean? And we have our own artists and own musicians who talk about, in some ways and shape or form, without telling stories, talk about killing each other all the time. Or talk about money, or talk about, power and greed and all of this. And you get mad at this guy who did a song about going to a thrift store with a black man on the hook, who was a working class gentleman until he got what Macklemore made and made a living. A plus size white woman who sings a song about LGBTQ communities. And he took like all of the people that people wouldn't pay attention to, or people wouldn't even want, or whatever, from a media's perspective, and made them stars. And on top of that, put Crit on the road with him and took Kweli on the road, which a lot of my own people haven't bought a Kweli CD and I don't know how long. So it's like, watch who you pointing the finger to. You know what I mean? Don't point the finger at him. If you want to point the finger at the structure, point the finger at how the structure's set up. And even if you do that, have an active part in the structure. Buy somebody's album, buy somebody's t-shirt, support people's music that you love, and we wouldn't have this problem. So that's why I kind of went off on Facebook, because people want to make it into a racial thing, and people want to come down on Macklemore. It's not his fault, you know what I mean? He's a kid from the Pacific Northwest who made it big off a song about getting popping tags for $20. Can't get mad at that. You may be mad because you didn't think about it. You know what I mean? And so that's the way I look at it, man. It's, but again, I will say I understand personally, Good Kid, Mad City is my favorite record out of the 5. Personally, I feel like it should have won. Like 2 years ago, he took Binary Star on tour. What? Like, who does that at that height? You know what I mean? So, that's what I kind of got pissed about, man. People like to whine, people like to complain, but people don't like to be the solution. And that's what it is.